All right, Hana Rosé, cheers. Good to see, good to be. Go on. I know you already took a sip of it. Cheers.
Hana Rosé, yes.
Hana.
Hana, yes.
So welcome everybody. This is the 46th episode of the Vibe Union podcast.
Ooh.
Can you believe we've come this far?
When was the first one?
The first one was more than a year ago, I would say. Oh, maybe close to exactly a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So here we are. Today we're joined by the lush, the not plush, but the sweet, sensual, the Cancun drip of Hana Rosé. Thank you so much for coming on the Vibe Union podcast.
Thanks for having me, DillyDave.
Of course, this has been potentially long overdue, but maybe not, because we've already had something very similar to this in the past before, haven't we?
Yes. I very much enjoyed that conversation.
That was good, and we may dip into similar realms. We'll see what happens. But before we get too much into it, a great way to start off these podcasts is to get grounded and acknowledge the ground that we're on. So the Vibe Union podcast takes place and is produced and recorded on the sacred grounds of the Brunaring and the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. They are the traditional custodians of this land, not owners. Big difference there. You know, they did do it different in terms of keeping to the land instead of keeping the land.
Right.
So yeah, I'd like to acknowledge the elders past, present and emerging, and just state that sovereignty was never ceded and history was deleted.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Amen indeed. So Hana, a talented R&B artist representing currently Melbourne at the moment, but what other places in the world have you represented through yourself and your art?
Well, I'm from New Zealand originally, so that's always in my veins.
Kia ora.
Kia ora koutou. Obviously, my sound is very American as well. So, you know, I've lived in Hollywood and Hawaii, and I've just always really loved R&B music, which is, it has a very American sound, I think, my music. So that comes through a lot too. Okay,
so if you were to briefly describe, like if you were to give the blurb or the synopsis or the quick bio to what Hana Rosé brings to the stage, well, what flavors are we bringing? What are we trying to do?
Okay, so it's fiery. It's I'm very fiery, sassy, bold. I like to say I have a lot of prowess.
Right.
So I feel very feel very dominating when I'm on stage.
You like to take the stage, take the space, and let people know that you're commanding it.
Yeah, exactly. And that comes from always looking up to other artists who have that type of stage presence and stagecraft, like Beyonce, Rihanna. Like, I just have always admired those strong female icon figures that just have that really big, sensual, commanding female energy. So there's that side, and then there's another side to me, which is more like stripped back and vulnerable. I feel like I have two different stage personas. Right.
So,
but
So one of them being the person who commands attention, and the other one being a bit more maybe sensitive and soothing.
Yeah.
And here to create some harmony in the world, perhaps.
Yeah, or more just vulnerable.
Okay.
The other side is like me tapping into like a really vulnerable, emotive, just more vulnerable and soft.
Right.
And really telling the story, but being still. Whereas the other one is like moving around, boom, boom, bam, Right,
it's a bit more flashy. Than vulnerable. Which approach came first, or did they both seem to emerge together?
I feel like they've always both been like there slowly. I don't know, like that's just my personality too. Like I'm very, I come across really outspoken, like strong opinion, like all of that, but there's another side to me that is very like sensitive and deep and all that. So I don't know, I just feel like they're two parts of who I am.
Are these two like forces or approaches? Are you kind of alluding to? One of our previous conversations, we talked about the divine masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
Is this kind of like unionizing those type of forces, or do you feel like that's a separate thing that's happening?
It could be. Like, I definitely think I have masculine traits, or traditionally, whatever, with
Yep.
being assertive, bold, taking up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But I also think there's that being feminine, an embodied feminine person, whatever. Being feminine is dynamic too. Like, there's that soft, sensual side, but there's also that ferocious, protective angst
Yeah,
that can be there too.
like a bit of chaotic energy, in a way.
I wouldn't call it chaotic.
Okay.
It might be, but it's more like strength. Like, the feminine can be so strong. Like, if you try to attack, a mountain lion's babies, like, you were going to get the wrath of that feminine protecting what's vulnerable.
Right.
So
It's all in energy, perhaps.
yeah.
Cool. So one of the many reasons why we would have you on the Vibe Union podcast is you have an upcoming show on the 12th of March,
Yay.
Mortal Cadence, alongside Yambra, Jebros, and Rhath. What can we expect from Hana Rosé on the day? What are you bringing? Are we going to be seeing new shit? What's been the lead up for this gig for you?
I'm really excited because it's like I'm always excited to do hip hop gigs, like with that angsty energy. Like I said, I get to bring out that fierce persona,
Yeah.
which is always a lot of fun for me. And it's just gonna, for the most part, be like just my more hip hop esque music and more upbeat and fierce, and just I'm just I'm always gonna keep it saucy, so that's what I'm gonna bring. And like, there won't be any unreleased music, but I'm excited for the set list I've put together because it's, I think, some of my just more upbeat, catchy songs.
If you had to recommend one track for people to get around some of the lyrics that you'll be performing, which track? So I'm not telling you to give away your set list.
Oh yeah.
But just one.
I mean, just go listen to Can Drip.
Okay.
That is my latest official release. It's been out for a while now, but that's kind of like the energy I'm bringing, like fun, naughty, and provocative.
Cool. Are you looking to make some of the boys shy away and feel a little bit uncomfortable, or?
Maybe that's why I do it. No. I'm not looking to make anyone uncomfortable. I'm looking to just serve.
Just to serve.
That's what it's about, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
serve the art, the scene, the people, yourself, the audience. All of these.
Okay.
Are they?
I'm not talking about like service.
No. I mean I mean like service in the sense of like entertainment.
Yes.
Right.
Serving it up, like
Yeah.
bringing that energy, because I mean, all you can bring is your own unique energy, I guess.
Right.
And yeah.
When was the last time you got to the stage and performed?
Well, it was like, actually might have been another Vibe Union event, the Take the Mic.
Floor is yours.
Floor is yours, sorry.
Take the Mic is a great open mic name though. Maybe you should start that one.
Yeah, that's something coming soon. But then I've also been performing in my music performance diploma course, which is so. But it's been a long time since I've done like a full set of my like original type stuff, so I'm excited.
Right. Have you found it difficult to book shows? Like, what's the process of getting like securing a gig for you?
Yeah, that's been like something that I'm trying to learn over the years, because I do think it comes down to connections and community. I think the way you get gigs is by connecting with people that are putting them on, and that's been a process, because like a lot of the first like 5 years of my career I didn't really have that many connections, and I was kind of just like in my own zone.
Right.
So that's been a process, like connecting and expanding those networks.
So would you say that maybe your approach for the past 4 or 5 years has been a bit more lone wolf, like leading up to this past 12 months or so?
Yep, exactly. And
yeah, talk us through that lone wolf approach.
yeah, well, it's not by choice.
Right.
It's just that when I started my music career, I didn't really have any friends alongside. I didn't really have connections or people showing me how to do it. and I just yeah, I was just learning by myself, and it just took a while to meet my community, you know.
Right. Were you actively seeking a community, or were you very much focused on your own craft and your own kind of journey?
Maybe I was more focused on honing in my own craft, my own style, my own sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a combination, but I can't say if I had met people, I'd be like, go away. Like, I would have been like, yes, get me on the stage.
Right.
But I will say the fact that it has taken so long for me to get to this point and these opportunities means that I had more practice along the way. So I feel really ready for every opportunity that comes up now because I've been building up to it. Yeah.
So, yeah, because you feel potentially more confident in your presence, like your stage presence, your delivery.
Yeah.
So maybe you feel like you now have a lot to bring to the table.
Exactly.
And ready to fucking seize it.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel prepared and I feel well practiced. I mean, I'm not perfect. Like, I could still improve vocally. Like, I'll always be growing as an artist and as a performer and as a vocalist. But I'm confident and I know, like, I've just had enough experience at this point. And I was able to do that in front of smaller crowds or smaller things or less important, like less pressure situations that gave me, I could use the training wheels there, and now I'm ready to.
Is that what you'd recommend to other people, like hitting, open mics, smaller shows, and not really setting your entry to the live scene too high?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to think like it's impossible to get those opportunities because some people get them like that. Like, you never know. But, also take all the learning opportunities and just do it as much as you can, whatever you can.
Right.
At that time. Whatever you have access to, which is, open mics, maybe that's it.
Do you think some artists write off open mics and all that kind of approach? Do you feel like some people think that that's less than them, or that's not the right place to kind of get stage time?
Maybe, and everyone has their own path. For me, like at this stage, overall, I probably don't want to do many open mics because I just had enough of that experience.
Right.
That, like, I want to just do like my own shows now.
Yeah.
But I don't think, if you haven't even performed live before, I don't think you can be above open mics. So,
Right.
Because you've got to test your nerves. Like, it takes a while to be comfortable on stage as well. Yeah.
Testing the nerves, it's a really good way to put it, because no doubt there's going to be anxiety or nervous energy around going up, especially at the start. And I really rate using many opportunities, especially in those first few years or couple years.
Exactly.
And there's so many reasons to go to a general show or an open mic aside from the stage time and growing that comfortability. That's where you can meet people.
Yeah.
That's where you can network.
Exactly.
That's where you can get ideas from other artists, see what other people are doing, see how they approach the stage, see how they tackle, handling the mic, mic technique, maybe how they even engage with, the sound engineer. All these kind of things can be picked up, hey?
Yeah, but you bring up the point of community too, because like I said, that's a big key to like your future is community, and that's how I started meeting people as well. Like, I didn't meet a lot of people initially, but I met Ivory Archer at an open mic probably a year into pursuing this. So and then that connected me to you guys, and like those, it goes on and on like that.
Yeah, it certainly does. What have you been working on recently, and what can people be excited about in the realm of Hana Rosé?
So I've been recording my second EP for the last couple of years. Like, I wish I was one of those people that can pump things out really fast.
It's tough.
But I really want to do like full projects, which is like not what everyone's doing these days. But
what do you mean by a full project?
Oh, just like an EP as opposed to pumping out fast singles.
Right.
Like, I'm very fixed on the full story of like I have the EP in my mind, and like I can't let it go until I've finished it all. So anyhow, I've been recording my second EP for the last 2 years, which is what Home Sweet Home and Cancun Drip are the lead singles of.
Cool.
So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes, and I'm excited to release more, but there has been, hold-ups in the refining process to finish the whole package. So that's what I'm working through at the moment, and yeah, but stay tuned because that's what's coming.
Stuff's coming.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of an idea of what the story or the narrative or the concept for the EP would be?
Definitely. So it's called The Enchantment of Love.
Powerful.
And so Home Sweet Home was the first single, which is all about when you meet someone and they feel like home and it's magical. And Cancun Drip is about having like a fun vacation with that person. And all the songs are basically about what's kind of like the honeymoon phase of love, the enchantment, and that magical feeling and that ecstasy feeling.
And what would be your reasoning behind packaging and presenting that to people?
Well, it's my story. It's like based on a true story.
So it's a call to a phase in your life?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's but the reason I choose the language like enchanting, magic, all those types of things is just because like the way love chemicals and oxytocin and everything works, and a whole lot of other things too, is sometimes you can get caught up, I don't know, like things settle down and that's not always the reality. What you see in someone in the first, like say 6 months of knowing someone might not be the long-term person you're going to see.
So are you alluding to the fact that you're producing a honeymoon version of Hana Rosé in this EP, and then what follows could not be that?
Yes, very true. The following project would be the Heartbreak album,
right,
where things don't add up in the end, and then the enchantment fades, the fall from grace.
Right. So a few of those projects or songs already kind of materialized in some way?
Yeah, I haven't recorded them, but a lot of them have been written.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just need someone, like an investor, to please help me get all my projects out because it's taking too long, and I'm already up to like next phase of my life, and these are from years ago, these ideas.
Right. Hana Rosé, if you had to command somebody to bankroll your operation, your project, talking to this camera right here, and let them hear it, let them hear what they need to do.
Wingapo, please send me money. No. I don't know. If anyone believes in me and what I can bring, wants to invest, get on board. Let's talk.
Cool. Perfect. We'll clip it. We'll put it out there.
Yeah.
At the moment in the scene, who do you have eyes on? Who are you kind of following? Who are you appreciating at the moment?
Let me think.
You don't have to say me, by the way. It's.
Right now, I don't think I've been following anyone that heavily. I mean, I support a bunch of everybody, like all the look, but I can't say there's someone. I've been really, last few months, caught in my own world, going through like a lot of transitions in my life, changing jobs after 6 years, moving after 5 years. I'm just going through a lot of changes, and like I've not been like focusing on anything but sorting my life out, getting back on track, going through these transitions. So I haven't really been focused on consuming a lot of music or going to that many shows and stuff.
Well, that's fair. That's a very honest answer. So, okay, when it comes to this period of kind of really honing in on yourself and maybe either setting order or structure or refreshing, your routines and stuff.
Exactly.
What has been some of the beneficial practices or approaches that you've incorporated in your life recently?
Well, kind of just to trust the flow of everything because it's kind of scary when you make changes after a long time. And part of the reason I was avoiding change for so long is because it was safe and comfortable and secure to be in the same, everything's secure, the same, but also it was feeling stagnant and like I was not excited about life.
Right.
So
the lead up to what, say 4 or 5 months ago was you feeling a bit stagnant.
Yeah, I've been feeling that way for years.
Truly, for years.
Yeah.
And do you attribute that to just you not engaging with things that are proper and meaningful in your life, e.g. work and that sort of thing?
It's about feeling stuck in a career or a job and feeling like you don't have other options and feeling like, you know, the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're a musician trying to pay the bills but also trying to build your music career, and it just feels like this sometimes never-ending kind of struggle.
Right.
And it's like I felt stuck at a job because I had to use that job to pay the bill. But anyway, what happened is like I'd wanted change for so long, but it was scary. And but I went to a Reiki healer, and that's kind of what unblocked a lot of things. And I started opening up and to change, and having so many changes and a whole lot of much more momentum and excitement and joy and fun and freedom in my life has come since then. And it was scary because like it was risky making these changes, like quitting my job without another one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've just trusted that I will get to the next point and everything's going to sort itself out. I've had stress and anxiety along the way too.
Yeah.
But it's just a kind of a practice of trying to not, like, I don't know, just having faith.
Right.
That something's looking after me.
Right, on something outside of yourself that's kind of there and is some kind of support.
Like I'm following what is aligned for me, and that can only lead to good things.
Yes. So the catalyst for unblocking yourself was actually going out and seeking some healing and help and direction.
Yeah.
Powerful. For those who wouldn't go and seek something like Reiki healing, what other approaches could people explore to kind of unstuck themselves from a bit of like a concrete mess or stagnation that people might be experiencing?
I don't know, maybe just trying something new, like trying to bring new flavor to your life, trying something different, because that's, for me, like that's what gets me excited, new things. Like I hate to feel like I've seen it all, I've done it all, I've been like, that just makes me depressed. So just, I don't know, exploring a new side of this town, or I don't know, trying different things.
Right.
That could be a less like esoteric way to go about it.
When did you move to this side of the city? Because you're right around the corner at the moment, aren't you?
Well, I was in South Bank for like 6 years, and I've just moved right into the city.
Okay. And do you feel that move has kind of shaken things up a bit for you?
Yeah, but because also I've moved from shared living to solo living. And for me, like, it depends on your personality, but for me, that's also been really important, because with lockdowns, sharing small spaces, I felt like really stuck in my room as well.
Yeah.
And I just felt kind of caged. So having my own space is so important to be able to create and feel free. That's important to me.
That's great. I have a similar situation with the shared living. For me, I'm a very social person. Like I do get a lot of my energy from others. But as a creative and somebody who's trying to work on your own shit, I mean, anything and everything can get in the way of that.
Exactly.
And even though you might like retreat to a space to create, if you feel like you're always confined to that space, then it no longer becomes the place of creation.
Yeah.
It's the place of hibernation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's and I guess a lot of people maybe around our age or generation are like leaning into the shared living experience purely because of, you know, affordability.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can really come at the cost of, you know, your mental, hey.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I feel like this has been like a great insight into the lead up for people to kind of expect a few things from yourself. And we definitely appreciate you coming on the Vibe Union podcast.
Thanks for having me.
For all those who are out there listening at the moment, I do consider yourself to be somebody full of, you know, wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
I hate to put the pressure cooker on you.
Oh no, that's my favorite.
But is there anything that you'd like to, any encouraging words or any words of insight to give to other people who may have been in your situation, years ago, or kind of leading up to this point of like seeking that change or needing to change things up?
Yeah. My advice is, see, I'm someone who takes everything so seriously, and like like I don't just stop and enjoy, and like, so advice to myself and others would just to try and like not be so hard on yourself, and just like let yourself relax and enjoy sometimes, and just have compassion for yourself.
Cool.
Whatever's going on.
Beautiful compassion for
Yeah.
yourself. That's
Yeah.
great. Well said. Everybody, thank you for joining us on the 46th episode of the Vibe Union podcast. I encourage everyone to go to Mortal Cadence on the 12th of March, bar 303. Hana Rosé will be joined by Yambra, Jeb Ross, Rhath. You got DJ Kai on the decks. It's going to be a real deal. There'll be a little bit of a cypher situation as well in there. No pressure from anyone to jump on, but the invitation's always open. My name's DillyDave. Thanks again, Hana, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Catch Vibe Union and all things that are Vibe Union.
Ciao.
Ciao.